Greetings Marines, FiOth here, and in this vid we will be modding the second out of the 4 new weapons. This time, due to popular demand, we're gonna go for the Plasma Rifle. And before we start modding it, I have to give you my thoughts on the gun itself. So, the Plasma Rifle is a very fast firing assault rifle. Okay, its damage profile reads 101 on the damage scale, reload time of 2.09, max ammo of 420, stumble chance of 5, fire rate of 14.5, magazine capacity of 80, which is huge, weak point damage of 200, which is average, handling bonus of 0, it has an accuracy of 82 and stability of 89. So this thingy fires really fast and really precisely. Okay, the thing is, its damage is so low that it's gonna be a nightmare killing anything beyond intense. And you know my feelings about guns that can only perform on the lower difficulty settings. It gets 4 stars that are mostly focused on its reload speed and fire rate. 5% on star 1 for reload time, 5% on fire rate on 2, then you get another 5% for reload time, and the last one gives it 1.5% fire rate on hit, stacking up to 10 times, and removed when stop hitting. So the whole idea behind it, keep firing until you are dry, don't stop, and if possible get crits, because crits is 200%. Crits in this game are very common because the Xenos have huge skulls, but again the base damage is meager. All that said, let's see how we can make it the best it can be. So, as we did with the SMG yesterday, the Vol, I'm not gonna read everything because this is ancient news, and because we have not yet unlocked all the attachments and most people will take a long time to unlock them, I will be modding these things with the Season 1 attachments. After I get the Season 2 attachment and a logical amount of time has passed, I will make new guides with the Season 2 attachment, at least for the Season 2 weapons and a select few of the Season 1. Okay, so what we want here, first and foremost, we need to have the best possible rate of fire, okay, and if we can get some weak point damage in there as well, we can use that too. For this initial one, we will go with recoil booster because of the fire rate. Mostly it gives a flat 20%. If we pick compact flash hider, we get 10% on the fire rate and 10% on weak point damage, but losing that much fire rate is not a good idea. The rest is very situational. I like the vented flash hider very much, that gives you 25% weak point damage, but you lose again all the rate of fire, and I really don't like that. So recoil booster is the way to go. For internal magazine now, you want this gun to be firing as fast as possible. So flared breech is a very good idea because it gives it the fire rate, but it also gives you larger ammo capacity. I was lucky enough to get combat actuator that gives you 5% more fire rate, but this is a Season 2 one and I'm not even gonna bother with it for the purposes of this vid. Launch accelerator is good as well. It gives you 20% on your fire rate, 20% on your stumble and 10% on your handling, but I would only pick this if you're playing up to intense. As I said, you need the extra ammo capacity if you're playing on the higher difficulty settings, so flared breech is the way to go in my opinion. Now, for the scopes, of course you do not want a set scope, like for example the rangefinder or the illuminated scope. What I ended up doing here is getting the green dot sight, so I capitalize on the already okay-ish weak point damage, and of course the effective range helps because the specific gun has a pretty steep damage fall-off curve. It doesn't show at all on the damage fall-off, but you lose the snappiness, you lose the responsiveness over greater ranges, so I'm ending up using the green dot. Weak point damage is what we want out of it though. It's not the effective range that we're looking for, it's the weak point damage. Another good idea would be the red dot. You get an overall better result when it comes to spreading things evenly. But for me, what's important first and foremost is the weak point damage in this case, because we don't have any other solid cases. With this configuration, you get a gun that has a fire rate of 20 and damage of 101. Okay, so that means it will fire like this. You can empty a huge bag of enemies. Of course, it requires a lot of recoil compensation. If you don't compensate, it will fire like this. It climbs in a vertical pattern. As all people who play shooters know, if something climbs in a vertical pattern when it comes to firing a gun, just pulling down on your stick is gonna even it out, and you can get all your bullets to land where you want them. Again, the damage is low, guys. This gun needs a buff in the damage department, unless you're playing on intense. On intense, it will perform excellently because it has a huge magazine and it fires really fast. If you want to get shit done on extreme on insane, I will go for the pulse rifle or the Kramer though. Okay, so this was my modding guide for the EVI-87 Zvezda Plasma Rifle, an interesting weapon that looks very cool, sounds very cool, and fires purple lasers, but needs a damage buff. I will stand by that decision because it's very important for Cold Iron to understand that making stuff that looks cool and underperforms on extreme on insane is not something they want to do long term, because people who are trying to clear those difficulty settings are just gonna ignore these guns altogether. Sub, like, and share for more content like this. In the following couple days we will be modding the rest of the guns, and you will be getting new content that includes point defense and doing Sherpa runs of high difficulty missions using the new stuff. Stay tuned. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!